What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another live Live to Roll. We got the Quadcast crew here with you today. We're going to be
Oh,
talking some health and fitness. So we'll get into it and hope you guys are having a great day. And if you do have any questions, any comments, anything like that, anything to contribute to the conversation, make sure to add those into the chat for us. So yeah, I am Shawn. I'm a C5, C6 quadriplegic from a snowboarding accident 20 years ago now. And Bobby, why don't you go?
who's it
Well,
gonna be,
yeah, I was
Sean?
gonna,
Who's your favorite today, bro?
like,
Just kidding.
keep us on our drum roll, please. Okay, I'm Bobby Rohan, C56. You know me, Southern California boy. Take it away, Tom.
You know me too, Tom Conway, aka T Fizzle, C6B quadriplegic, another NorCal boy living in SoCal, and yeah, happy to be talking about some health and fitness today.
Yeah, so that's what we've all kind of had our own little health and fitness journeys, like ups and downs, working on stuff. Like right now, I have definitely been pretty concentrated on health, especially like diet and stuff like that. Um, and then just like not rigorous working out, but just kind of keeping active with stuff. So that we'll get
Yeah,
into all our own stuff right now, but also real quick, I'm gonna just to take a second in the beginning here to thank our sponsors, mobility professionals and urology professionals. I always forget to thank them in the beginning, and we will do another shout out with some of more information at the end. But if you want to check them out, information is down below in the description, so check it out.
we should probably shout it out at the beginning and the end too, and maybe even talk about it in the middle. But there is the Triumph Foundation Sports Festival that's coming up this Saturday and Sunday in Southern California. If you're lucky enough to be in the Southern California area or even able to travel a little ways to get to it, it's a 2 day adaptive recreation sports festival for individuals with disabilities. And it's a really amazing event. It's a great opportunity to try out some cool sports. It's a great opportunity to meet a lot of cool people, but also just get active in the sun in a really safe and welcoming environment. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about our experiences at the sports festival. But Live to Roll is going to have a booth there this weekend, and yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's a really great event. They've done it for quite a few years now. It's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, all free, lunch, breakfast, both included as well. So you can come out, get a little bit of lunch. All you have to do is sign up online, or honestly, you can just show up and sign up right there at the registration table when you get there. Lots of great stuff. And it's not just sports, too. Like, there's art things, there's adaptive yoga, there's, lots of
Yeah.
different stuff.
Dance.
If Yeah, dance
There's
stuff.
the fest. I mean, our little mini expo going on with a bunch of different booths, and you can get some information, especially if you're in that sporting world. I'm not sure if they're going to be there this time, but if you wanted to go fishing, there was a booth that we used to have that would take you fishing and camping for overnight, and so there's many things to see if you want to go scuba diving.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna just
Be
say.
too
Yeah,
late, but you have to sign up, and or if you just want to come out and check out skate, how people get into the skate parks and do the skate parks in your wheelchair, or just watch. But we're going to want to make sure that you can come out and participate.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And like I said too, there is like a whole art center thing there. There's lots of different stuff for people to do, and it's just a really fun social community event as well, just to hang out, get some good resources. So we can get into a little bit. What was
That
that?
I was gonna say that kind of like leads us to like what we're talking about is opportunities to get active and get some fitness in. It can be hard as a quad, right, Sean?
Yeah, no, it can definitely trying to find workouts, trying to just like have the time and energy sometimes.
Yeah, we're very fortunate here in SoCal to have a lot of adaptive recreation opportunities, but the reality is a lot of people don't necessarily have the benefit of an organization like Triumph locally. So the adaptive recreation opportunities maybe I've got to create for yourself. So I think like some of us have all done that in some respect. And yeah, I think we're going to get into it a little bit. How do you like to stay fit, Bobby?
Uh, yeah, any way I can. I think we've talked about it on the show a few times, but I come from a loving fitness relationships before my injury and after my injury. And as I grow older and in my 50s and with technology, it's only getting easier. I just wish I was younger. Um, in a sense that, when I want to work out with a group, I can join a Zoom group and work out with them. I even coach that Zoom group now. And now with the e-bike that I have, it's actually, makes it that much easier to get out on the road and start riding my hand bike, uh, or just for fun. I mean, I get out of my driveway and just go push around the neighborhood. Everybody knows me now. I'm pushing like kind of in the middle of the street,
Mhm.
and everybody's really kind of me, kind of move around. And I listen for the traffic, move over. But um, it's always been a love relationship for me. And I have many goals that I always set for myself. There's an app called Conquer Challenges, and I love signing up for them because it really keeps me motivated, especially for pushing and riding. So I sign up for, let's say, it's a tour of, right now I'm doing the Great Wall. And what it means is I get on this app and it's 160 miles and I'm trying to push that whole 160 miles. So if I push 3 miles in one day, it goes towards into the app. I use this app called Strava when I go pushing. So I hit start. It's satellite based. I know that how many miles I went, and once I'm done, it uploads to the Conquer Challenge and it keeps track. And then I go into the Conquer Challenge, and then I can see where I'm at in this Great Wall China course they have. And then at the end of once I do 160 miles, I get a medal at the end of the day, and that keeps me motivated. And I pay $30 for that session, and and right now I'm doing Route 66 for my hand bike. It's 2,000 miles, so I'm hoping to complete that. And my goal was for 2024, and right now I think I'm at 500 miles for the year of riding my hand cycle.
Does it just show you your progress through it, or is it like interactive, like you kind of see where you are along that way, or is it just like,
Depending on what course you pick, my Route 66 is not where I can see where I'm at on the course, but there many are. So like the first one I did was Mount Fuji. It was very easy, 26 miles. And you would see where you're at on the course, and then you can hit it and move forward. You can move to the side. And I was exploring all of Japan, going everywhere, and I found this like cool cemetery, this cool house. So I went up this one road, and I was just like amazed at what it could do. And yeah, it just keeps me challenged, and as well as my Strava. Strava is kind of like your app of keeping track of how many miles you do. It keeps track of my workouts, of my pushing and cycling, so separate. And it's uh, a great way to keep track of what my friends are doing as well. So I have other friends that are doing stuff, and give them a thumbs up. They give me a thumbs up, just kind of like a Instagram, Facebook kind of scenario.
so Bobby, you do like more of that interactive, like group stuff, huh? So you can like challenge yourself against the others. Because I mean, you also do the coaching, staying driven, like kind of that
Hmm.
group workouts
Yeah, it's always
together.
better to try to do a group thing.
Yeah.
Working out on your own sucks. You cheat yourself. I'll be the first to admit I cheat myself. It's like, and I'm pretty motivated to get on there by myself and do like, let's just say, a 20-minute jump rope workout. And maybe I might not go as hard. Some days I'll go all out. Um, and other days, I'm like, but if I have somebody there, and one of our good buddies, Paul, who's always in our chat and been a guest on our show, when he's doing something with me, it's all out. We're neck and neck of strength and endurance, and so it's always great to have a workout partner and somebody to watch, or doing workouts live, like the staying driven, getting on and working out with others. It's a social thing, and it's also keeping me in shape.
Oh, that's cool. Tom, what about you? What's your kind of like personal preference on stuff? Like, I know you've been working out more now, a couple days a week, doing like rehab, some gym workout
Uh,
stuff.
yeah, well, I exercise on my own and I exercise with people. Um, I've been really heavy into doing some serious rehabilitation, um, and trying to work better on getting stronger, maintaining my body in a more
Water.
healthy way. Um, and the way that I've been doing that is, yeah, a multi-pronged method. One, I'm going to therapy and getting some help from a third party, from a therapist, getting help, assistance doing more advanced exercises, more serious exercises that I can't easily do on my own. Um, and rehabilitating in that way, and then also learning exercises and stretching that, and working on that with them, that I can also take home and continue to do on my own. So I have some exercise bands where, like on the off days when therapy, I try to still do my routine here in my apartment, and it's just like hooking the bands like on my chair or on my doorknob and doing simple exercises, and then doing my stretching. Um, Particularly like my upper body stretching to try to keep myself feeling the best as possible. Um, is and the main reason I kind of got back on this journey, because I slid off of it for probably a couple of years after really getting into working out and exercising very regularly, was I was just starting to hurt a lot, from like my normal routine. Now a lot of the physical activity that I also do is maintaining my care, like my personal care, like um, doing all my transfers unassisted, in and out on my own, several days a week. I'm doing all of my dressing, all of my undressing. I'm doing all of my bowel care. I'm doing all of that stuff on my own, and it takes me hours. I wake up, a couple of extra hours early on the days that I don't have help in order to do it all on my own. And sometimes it can be 3 or 4 transfers in and out of on and off my bed and into my chair. If I'm doing my bowel care, dressing and stuff is a serious workout sometimes. Sometimes it's super quick and easy. But if I gotta look good and I gotta have the clothes really straight, and I'm going out to, pick up some ladies or kick it with the homies and stuff, then, it is like more serious, and, it's harder with certain clothing items and stuff. It is a lot physically. And I felt it. I felt that a lot the last couple of years. Like, independence is great, but realistic independent goals are also really important to work on and maintain. And I was pushing myself a little bit too far, and the physical strain was getting to me. So I've been also with my therapist, particularly my occupational therapy, working on techniques and ways of doing some of those tasks, maybe in a more efficient way, in a different way that's less triggering than um, maybe I've been doing, particularly like triggering for my wrists and my arms and stuff, and like how I'm dressing and things like that. I'm doing all the exercising, I'm doing the regular exercising, but I'm also really working on a lot of the physical activity that I need to continue to do and I have to do because it's my independence and it's important to me that I continue to do, but also try to do them in the healthiest way possible. And also work on strengthening certain muscle groups to also make those tasks as easy as possible as well. So I'm kind of taking this multi-pronged approach to maintaining my health, staying healthy, but also getting strong with some goals in mind of continuing to maintain my independence and avoid injuring myself or hurting myself in the long term as I continue to try to maintain this.
No, that is important because it is hard doing all like even for me just transfers. Um, I do have a lot more help recently, but like for so many years, like even driving, like this weekend, we went up to like Mount Baldy just for like a little drive up for the day. Took the dog, just kind of hung out up, just nice relaxing day. Um, that drive was really hard on my shoulder. Like I was getting super sore, like up and down. By the time it was done, like my arm is like, like it's a for sure workout. But I do like to do regular working out. I haven't done as much like workout like with either weights or even with the bands. I got really into the bands too for a while. I like the like not TheraBands, but the stretch bands, like the
Yeah,
circular ones. Like I like those. I actually do still
Yeah,
have
that,
a set. What's that, Bob?
yeah, those are TheraBands. Yeah,
They
therapy
are TheraBands.
bands.
Okay, I wasn't
yeah.
sure if it was
Yeah.
TheraBands or just the ones that are like you tie on each end, or if it was those looped ones that are like the.
There are a lot of different versions, and even if you aren't going to therapy or don't have access to Amazon and the TheraBands, go to Big Five. There's a lot of exercise bands, some of which even have cool handles and stuff that I found work super well for quads or somebody that doesn't have grip. I think there's some opportunities to get creative with exercise bands. But sorry, Sean, continue.
No, yeah, no, that's what they honestly are. Just a really good, and they're cheap. They're easy to get. They're a great
Super.
workout, especially for quads. So those and wrist weights were always my favorite things. I could just put
Yeah.
the wrist weights over my hands, and I could do a little workout. I could just move my shoulders. I'll do little air punches and stuff like that. Those were always a lot of my workouts. Nowadays, we try to go out to the park with the dog for about an hour a day, and I just try to do like, and I do have my emotion wheels on, but I am putting like the free wheel on, which is a little more weight to my chair, and there's a lot of inclines and a lot of, it's not like like I do feel it at the end. Like I'm like, oh, some of these times I'm like, that was a
Yeah.
nice little push workout, because like I am pushing for an hour. Like I'm out. It might not be rigorous pushing, but once a week I'm still, or trying to do once a week still, where I do rugby and I do a little bit more rigorous workout and I really push myself, and really try to like get that cardio workout in because that's like the only thing that really gets my heart like really pumping, when you get like that full cardio workout going.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been my like the last year or so. That's kind of been my workout routines and stuff, which is more just chill, but like
And
staying very active.
And
I
that's,
know
I think,
Tom.
go ahead,
I was
Bobby.
going to do this
You,
real quick. Tom, you said Big Five. For those that are out of state and don't have a Big Five in your area for those bands or wrist weights, uh, Amazon has multi different ones and
Yeah,
come in different packs and stuff like that. And the one thing that, and when you talked about wrist weights, Shawn, these are, especially for quads, these are really awesome because they have a thumb hook. And so, yeah, you got me big. So they have that thumb hook where you can start, wrap your uh, hand around the wrist.
it's pretty much exactly how I do it. The bite method,
Yeah.
bite and pull.
Yeah. And what's nice about these, because they hook on the thumb, is they don't slide down my arm.
That's awesome.
So that's the nice thing. They're not going back and forth, so they're staying right there at that point of working out and throwing out and throwing up. So when I'm going up, they're not falling down. That's the only reason why I recommend these. And they come in anywhere from zero point 0.5 to 3. I have a ones, a twos, a 2.5, and threes in my set of working out. And really, you don't need a lot of weight when you're trying to trying to get a good workout. A lot of people think you need a lot of weight. We're already putting so much stress on our shoulders. Like you said, you went driving up there, Shawn, and
Yeah.
I just came back from doing 6 hours on Thursday and 6 hours on Sunday back home from Monterey. And yeah, I was
Wow.
more tired from the driving than, than anything. And so, yeah, we get enough of a workout that you don't need to go hard, especially if you're doing a half an hour to 40-minute workout with weights. You don't really have to go that hard. So, sorry, Tom, that was a little more
Do
winded
not
than I want,
apologize.
but
Do
go
not
ahead.
apologize
I know you
for
were going to say something.
spreading your words of wisdom. No, I was honestly gonna kind of almost reiterate exactly what you just said. Is I like rigor? It depends on your goals. Like if you're trying to get yoked, if you're trying to really put on some muscle, and like that is your intention, and you're like in an environment where you're supported and able to do that and still function normally. I say that's dope. I've been there. Like my last year in college, I was going to the gym 4 days a week, and I lost a ton of weight, and I got super strong. And that was like one of my goals at the time was just kind of try to get a little cut for the first time in my life. And so I really pushed, but I also had like 7 days of care a week. And I had somebody help me every morning, and I was just like in a very different position, like independence wise, where I had just a lot more help, which allowed me and gave me the freedom to do that. And that's where I was going to say, just maintaining healthy, regular activity, like I think is, just paramount. Just like what Shawn said, like rolling to the park, like you're feeling it in the shoulders and stuff, but it's a fun activity. It's a great social activity. You get to hang out with your person, you get to hang out with your dogs and stuff, but you also get to, get a little push on and get that blood flowing and get a little work in the shoulders and stuff where it also doesn't leave you like strung out at the end of the day where you're struggling with your transfers and things like that. So it all depends on your context and what your personal goals are. But I personally think, just like regular healthy activity, not like pushing yourself too hard, making sure you still have enough gas in the tank to take care of yourself effectively is really important to maintaining a healthy lifestyle, I think. Um,
And I do suffer from that from time to time where I overdo it, like you're saying, Tom. And
yeah,
you pay the price. You pay the price, and
yeah.
uh, that that last transfer into bed or that last transfer in and out of your car, it's like so. Be careful. Don't overdo it.
Do you ever have trouble staying motivated, Bobby? Motivating yourself to work out? Are there times where you wake up and you say, fuck it, I'm not feeling good today. I'm going to just chill out because I'm hurting or my quad body's not,
It's not. It's not that I'm not motivated to do it. I'm just now more listening to my body more.
Yeah,
I had a pretty busy week being out in Monterey with my brother for a big bicycle festival. I didn't ride, but it was just a lot when you're at a different place and a different, we were staying at his buddy's room, so different bed, different transfers, different environment. So I felt it, and I love to get out today and cycle, but also I had a busy day with, my parents and my mom and um, just where I couldn't. So it's like it's okay to take a day off for me. I'm okay. If it's 3 and 4 days, no, it's not hard because, and especially when that weather starts getting nice. Oh no, when the
yeah.
weather is nice, it is not hard to get motivated even to get out and get a mile to 3 miles of pushing around my neighborhood. No, not for me, and that's how I've always been.
Yeah. How about you, Sean? Is that ever
How about
good for you?
I do sometimes, like when I was doing more workouts. Sometimes I would be a little bit like not so motivated to get it started. Like I might need something to inspire me or motivate me, which sometimes like stuff like that would be like back, before like I'd see Bobby post he just did some push or something. Like or Kyle or something like somebody like they're working out or whatever like um for rugby I have actually been like when I was training more and like really motivated to like advance and like really play competitively
Yeah,
in those earlier years, I was highly motivated. I was like, I don't care. I need to be the strongest. I need to be the fastest. Like, like I
Yeah.
would constantly push myself. And Bobby, I was gonna mention earlier too. That's actually I
Mm.
have kind of the opposite problem. Like you said, sometimes you'll cheat yourself when you're by yourself. I sometimes when I'm by myself will be like, I'll do an extra set. I have time. Like I'm sitting like I will just do more. Like I've even worked out for a while when I first moved out this way. Tarina, one of the girls from like Triumph, she does all of the stuff like one all of our I think the social media stuff for Triumph
Yeah,
and
posting crap.
really evolved. She invited me to a CrossFit gym that she worked out here. And there's like this CrossFit trainer who was helping us for free, and he'd give me workouts, and I'd be like, "Nah, it's not enough." And I would always do like two extra on each set, or like, and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" like, but like for some reason, I will, if I'm in that mode, I am so motivated, and I will push myself. Like, now I'll do extra. I'm fine. I can do extra because like
But
those,
it's, but yeah, I mean, I kind of cheat me in the sense that I might not go as hard. But if you and I were working out, or the three of us are working out, and I see, we're doing this, like, let's say we're doing 100 of lateral raises. I'm going to go faster. I'm going to go beat you, and I'm going to do 120 before you get done with 120. But if you said, "Hey, Bobby, today you're doing 100," I'm like, "Okay, I'm doing 100." So, that's how that's what I mean by cheat myself. When I see somebody, I go faster, and I
so
know
that
that,
motivates you to.
my buddy Paul and yeah, Paul and I do it to each other. And he says the same thing back to me. So
No, that is when you do have somebody like that that pushes you. That is very helpful. That is cool. And I've had that a little bit. Like I do sometimes, like feel that need to like push myself a little farther because, like somebody else is doing something that like I'm like, oh, I could do that too. I could be. I can be faster or whatever. um,
I like to see and feel progress. So I'll do the same thing too, where it's just like, I'll go, extra set or, like up the weight a little bit or something and like really work on trying to like push to go a little bit further just because so I can like set a new regular standard and, like make that the normal workout, just to ensure that I'm still progressing, still tearing those muscle fibers a little bit, so they're growing back stronger and stuff because like that's how it works and that is how you get stronger is you do push yourself like in hopefully a healthy way because you can push yourself too far and in a not healthy way but I think I try to do that too where uh, I'll motivate myself if I'm not with somebody where it's like all right T Fizzle you got a little extra in you bro come on let's get it baby and that's fun and that's cool too.
hey
yeah,
guys, I will be right back in 5 minutes. Just doing my mom's in the ER, so just dealing with something. She's gonna have to stay the night. She's just dehydrated, and so everything's fine. Doctor's texting me, so I will be right back in 2 and 2. So
Okay, sounds
don't
good
switch.
man.
no
uh,
problem, Bobby. And yeah, that's what I know. Like Bobby had mentioned, and you had mentioned pushing yourself too far, like, and you still have to do your care. You have to do things for yourself. You have to drive home. You have to transfer into the bed. You have to get undressed. Like those little things. And I have had issue in the past, like especially like when I was really trying to train for like a rugby tournament or something like that. Um, I have had a tendency to push myself a little too far and be hurting while trying to get ready into bed or and the next day waking up just like god, like just like that struggle to get back up again too. So
yeah,
yeah.
no, I feel that a lot. And I don't know, I've never been in a position where I was like unable to help myself, but just I was like in so much discomfort and like hurting so bad, like that relief when I finally like laid back in bed. I was like, oh my god, I can't do that anymore. Like that was really hard. Like that was scary.
Yeah, no, and that happens for sure. So that's what for anybody out there that is trying to work out and that you are doing stuff like you're pushing yourself, trying to gain independence, trying to gain strength, just be wary of that. Be a little bit careful. Don't overexert yourself. Um,
um, congrats to Roy on the new wheels. I think that's awesome. But you also made another great comment. I think love getting out into nature. Just like Shawn mentioned, rolling out of the park, you find yourself an accessible trail. You find yourself like a cool place in nature that's accessible for you to go and cruise and go for a nice walk or a nice roll. That's one of my favorite things to do. You know, whether it's cruising down the boardwalk at a beach and feeling the salty air and the sunshine on your skin, or getting into nature and just surrounding yourselves with some really good fresh oxygen and some trees and some birds and stuff. I think that's like a really awesome, amazing, peaceful, meditative way to go and get some healthy activity and exercise too. Let's go
It
find a
is.
trail.
Yeah, no, exactly. And if you can't do a trail, like we've been going to this park just right here locally in Upland. It's a big park. It's got lots of accessible pathways through it, and it's beautiful. It's really green. There's literally squirrels running around everywhere that the dog wants to go try to chase, but it's just a fun, like, cool, like, I love rolling through, seeing squirrels playing in the trees, running across the grass. Like, it is. It's like it's that nature aspect of it, just being out. Like, I might not be deep into nature, but like I still feel like it's green, it's beautiful, it's a nice day. Like it's
Yeah.
just nice to be out.
My dad always says it's grounding, like it connects you with the earth, like it recharges you a little bit. I feel like being stuck inside, especially nowadays, the way we're so attached to our devices, screens, and technology. And I'm speaking for myself here. I'm as bad or as worse than anybody out there when it comes to this stuff. But I do take some time to try to detach and get connected and surround myself with some natural things too. And outside of like the activity and all the good oxygen and stuff, it really does help recharge me kind of mentally in some way, just like Shawn said, seeing all the birds, seeing all the trees, seeing all the squirrels and the nature and stuff. It just helps like reset my perspective and help me just feel a little bit better like mentally too, which I want to talk to you guys about and get your perspective on is for mental health. I think exercise, at least it's been big for me. It was big for me years ago when I first moved out and started exercising and started my independence journey. It's like I realized, like, dang, exercising feels good. It kind of makes me happy. It releases some happy drugs inside my body, like these endorphins. I could get used to this. But also, um, it helps get out some bad feelings and bad energy, I think, too, in a healthy way. Meaning, like, ooh, when you're not feeling so good, you're feeling a little upset, you're feeling a little unbalanced, like going and hitting some weights, going and doing some cardio or getting whatever that is and just expressing it physically in a healthy physical way. I think, or at least for me, has positively benefited my mental health. I think exercise can be really great balance to keeping your mind right, especially if you're feeling bad. I know like I can just get stuck. I still get stuck. I get stuck all the time, you guys. I get stuck here in this box that's my apartment that I love so much and I'm so comfy in. But it's not always the comfiest place for me mentally. And I fix that by going and getting some physical activity in as much as possible nowadays because I recognize how important it is to maintaining my mental health too. It's like, so Bobby and Shawn, you guys got any perspective or anything to add to that? Does it
I
help
mean,
you?
it just absolutely. I mean, when I'm having a rough day, exercising and getting out, if it's just going to push a mile around the house or my neighborhood, luckily, one big reason why I bought where I live, it's when I drove into this neighborhood, I'm like, oh, it's flat because my previous neighborhood was pretty hilly. I lived at almost the top, and so I never liked it to get out and do anything. But this neighborhood, I love it. So that was a pretty big factor why I bought here, so I can get out there. And so when I'm having a crappy day, like you're saying, Todd, mentally and emotionally, it's great to get out there and get a push in. Or now with my hand cycle, um, get out there and go. And like Robert said, yeah, I love to cycle to the beach. It is now one of my favorite things to do and get to the beach and just like take it all in. And it's just that's therapy. I get home and I never feel bad when I finally get home. I mean, the problems don't go away, but the problems feel better, and I get time to think about what was I, what's really going on, and how can I make it better or deal with whatever it might be. So there's tons of things in the chat. Roy, great to hear you having getting a new van. Have you ever used battle ropes? I have in the past when I worked out at an adaptive gym. I loved it. I'd love to do the battle ropes. Those are pretty hard. And then I also used to take the battle rope, tie it onto the back of my chair, and drag it around. That was a tough workout. Um, so yeah, that was. I just wanted to answer that, but you can get battle ropes on Amazon, like I said, and there's different sizes. The only reason why I don't have them because I love them a lot is just someone was at the gym to help me get those on, and someone here is not always around and take up a lot of room in your house. And this room already gets junked up enough that it's just like not a thing I probably should be getting and bringing over to this house.
Hipkrit mentioned it's improved his blood pressure working out the, um, I guess, up by 10 points. But yeah, so
Like
for me, and
consistent cardio, he said, has helped his blood pressure.
yeah, yeah, cardio. So yeah, that's cool. Doing more cardio, blood pressure is definitely a big part of that. And for us quads, having better blood pressure helps a lot. Hi, Ellen.
She
But
says
yeah,
hi.
I was gonna say too. So far on the mental health stuff, like I 100% agree. Uh, Working out is so good for your mental health as well too. Like when you are stressed, just not feeling good, you're worried about something, you're just down on stuff. Like working out can really be, I feel like, one of the best outlets to help for sure. So I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agree, and I do try to. I know sometimes when you're feeling down, it might be hard to get motivated to go for a push, go work out, grab your wrist weights, do something. But once you get started, I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, it's that key is if you can just make yourself like just watch this and go, okay, I'm motivated to find a YouTube video. And there's plenty on YouTube if you want to just find something free and get motivated. That's how my whole fitness came back into life after a while of not pushing around as much, and I was sick a lot, and then pandemic hit, and I'm just like, okay, what do we have time to just sit here on YouTube and clicking around and going, oh, here's a guy. He's working out. Oh, he's doing something live, and boom. Once I did it once, I was hooked. I mean, I was back to hook, and it's carried me all this way to today, where I am, now a fitness coach online and coaching 5 to 6 classes a week. So that's where it's taken me and taken me back to pushing, taken me to where I have workout friends and partners, and because it's always great to have a partner out there and work out with somebody.
I wish I had like a better answer as to how to like convince yourself when you're in that state of mind. Because like I know that feeling so well, and I don't get or understand what it is when like I'm feeling negative, when I'm feeling down and stuff. Like I know what's gonna make me feel better, but also making the decision to do that sometimes feels like the hardest thing in the world. Like where it's like, bro, what would you rather do? Just sit here and wallow in your pity? And I guess yeah, sometimes that's exactly what I want to do. But it's just what Bobby said. Like I know it for a fact in my head that if I can just do it, even if I don't want to do it, I know I'll feel better afterwards. And it gets easier and easier the more you do that. You change the brain chemistry. Your negative disposition isn't so negatively associated to that. In fact, the chemistry starts to change. So you get those positive, you know, neurons firing, and you get those endorphins going and stuff. And, you start to create a physiological change that benefits yourself physically, but also mentally. And it's just, it gets easier over time too. At least it has for me. And that, I'm being real. Some days it's still hard like that, but that's just life, baby. I don't know if that's gonna ever go away, but I have given myself better tools to make those positive, proactive decisions in that state of mind. And there's some great apps and stuff. Shout out Brianna, who's like put me onto some good apps that do like remind you, and it's just like little daily check-in things that you can do, like to give yourself a little bit of accountability, because that's all sometimes you need is just a little bit of accountability for yourself to like, or maybe a reminder. And sometimes you can create those for yourselves to help you stay motivated and keep on going.
Yeah, things like that can
You know,
definitely. So if that's what
go
you
ahead.
need to motivate, like I say, definitely use the app. If you have to, if you got a buddy you want to call, be like, hey, let's like that also is working out, and you guys can hold each other accountable. I do something like that does really help, kind of keep you going and moving. What were you saying, Bobby?
You gotta
Um,
hit him right while he's got the sweater hugged on his head,
Over
dude.
his head.
I was just warm. And that was a workout. Yeah, there's plenty of apps. Oh, one thing is I wanted to talk about. We talked about with mental health.
I don't know if
Is
he's
is
coming tonight, but
okay? Yeah, I got
Shawn
you.
texted.
Um, is also working on your mental health with one thing that I've done every morning now is meditation. That's how I get my day started, no matter what. And so I've joined a meditation app, and I get 10 minutes in every day. And then now I do it even twice a day because I use it to fall asleep as well.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I haven't honestly done a lot of like meditation stuff, but I think it is great. I have tried to work on like deep breathing and things when I'm like just stressed or just trying to like calm after a workout or whatever, or AD stuff like that. Sometimes it helps even. Um, but uh, but yeah, no, that's a good thing to get into. And Tom, I actually got two questions from the chat for you. One way earlier from our buddy David Washington, which hopefully we'll see this weekend. Said, Tom, you playing rugby? That's what you're training
I
for?
hopefully soon I'm playing some rugby. Unfortunately, not at the sports fest this weekend, David. But I love you, man. I miss you, Mr. Washington. And I have your number, man. I'll try to reach out and we'll connect. But I will not be at rugby this Saturday.
And then also, uh, Leah actually asked you, where is that? When your the Tom nature docs are going to start to come up on the channel here. Tom
What?
Tom and Doug's nature docs. Shout out.
Well, we we can work on some of that. That actually might be kind of fun to do. Is do a little live to roll nature series and get some crips out into some wetlands or some wild land areas and going and checking out some wildlife. For anybody that isn't understanding the context of that, or no, my dad and I are still very passionate about nature and wildlife. But one of our favorite hobbies during my adolescence, something that dad still does, and I not so much anymore, but used to do all the time, is we'd go out into the wetlands and stuff, and with video cameras and film cameras and film and try to capture nature. And I back in high school did some educating in that regard on conservation and our environment to young kids and stuff. And I just have a huge passion for it. But it was also a really great activity to go out and get immersed in nature. Wake up real early, carry a bunch of camera equipment and bags, and get stuck a few times on the way and venture in my chair. But it taught me so much and gave me the love that I have for getting out into nature that I have today as an adult. So I don't know when we're going to get the nature movies on Live Troll, but we'll work on that. First off, we got some cooking shows coming up in the very near future. So we'll get those going soon
Yeah, for
and
sure.
work on the rest.
One thing at a time, but that's it. They also said a literal nature
But you
series
know,
narrated by Tom would be so much fun.
Oh,
I
this
I could
voice, I
imagine
don't
you
know.
Tom narration. That'd be fun.
I don't know about that. We'll have to maybe hire that
Dude,
out, but we'll
you
see.
could be the next Morgan Freeman. If he plays
Oh, maybe I
slightly.
don't know. I don't know.
there's a good feel good movie. If you want really good feel good movie with Owen Wilson, Steve Martin, and Jack Black, it was called A
Birding.
Good Year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it was
about
about them doing
birding.
a big year in bird watching. It's just a cool movie, something you don't expect, and actually, it was just. I mean, I really got into the movie. I've seen it maybe twice now, and just a real good feel good movie. And
It's an incredible
I
movie,
highly
and I'll tell you what, almost all my life, we were part of the bird society up in NorCal, and we would do annual bird counts where we would do that. Just what they did. We would go out like we did the Christmas bird count every year. My mom and dad would dragged us three teenagers out of the bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and all day long we would go identify birds and count them and track their locations. And then at the end of the day, we'd like collect all the data from the different zones around the valley, and they would aggregate it and contribute it to the Cornell ornithological ornithology lab, which is like the bird study lab or whatever. And they would track annually like the um, population size and the migration stuff of birds. So we're kind of getting on a little tangent here. But again, fun, great way. Get out, get a little exercise, get into nature and stuff, contribute in maybe a positive way towards understanding our environment and science a little bit better. Is go do some birding. It was one of my favorite things that I did in my adolescence and those memories. Birding with my family all day, getting lunch at Angelo's Deli and eating yummy sandwiches and being together will live in my heart, my mind forever. So um,
Oh,
that's awesome.
that's really cool. You guys did that, and like you said, that's great. Getting out into nature, like that's a great activity for a lot of people. So, and honestly, sounds pretty fun.
And it does got to be birds. We talked about it earlier. Go fishing. Fishing can be great. It can be a little physical too. If you're doing a lot of casting, if you're trying to learn how to cast and stuff, especially physical if you're yarding in a big fish and sitting there reeling and fighting a fish or something. Can be a really fun physical activity. Just a fun way to go meditate and be by a lake and hang out all day and maybe even catch yourself some dinner to enjoy and go and cook when you get home, which is kind of a bonus to fishing, but also a really cool, fun part of it too.
Yeah, no, that's what's like. Exercise doesn't have to be going to the gym and working out with weights. Like, there's a
Oh,
lot of
absolutely.
ways you can get some physical activity out there. All kinds of different recreation type stuff like that. And as a
What was
quad,
your
I was just gonna say real quick, as a quad, any of those things are pretty physically taxing. Like, I mean, even as a parent, I'm sure as anybody, a lot of those things can be hard. But if you're a quad with limited function, like doing minimum, like you will get worn out fairly quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, what would sometimes be considered just like very normal and casual things, maybe aren't so normal and casual depending on your level of function and your situation. So, if you can push yourself to do it, I don't know. I found a lot of those things are kind of tough at the start, but then you gain the muscle memory. You get a little accustomed to it, especially if you enjoy it and continue to repeat it. But my question for you, Sean, and we'll give it to Bobby too, is what is your favorite adaptive recreation activity? I think I know for you, Sean, it's probably rugby, but I'm gonna still ask you the question.
It is just because um, sit like even my seating position in the rugby chair, I'm very comfortable with the push. Like I'm solely strapped in. Like I can like lean and do all these things. Like I just feel good in it, even if it's not playing rugby. Like if it's just getting into it to push, like doing like which I used to do a lot more, especially on training, like at the park or even just here in the street by my house, like Bobby does, just with his like out with the basic cycle. I would literally just do right in the middle of the street because I have a pretty slow, quiet neighborhood. But pushing in the rugby chair is just whether that's playing rugby or even just pushing in it. I don't know what it is about it, but I love that is like my favorite physical activity. Like I always feel like I get a great workout. I feel like I get the cardio workout, and I just feel really good after pushing in the chair for a while. So
And Bobby, I feel like I know yours too. Probably bicycling. But what's your favorite adaptive rec activity?
Yeah, it's cycling. That hand bike behind me, the orange one here. That's when I hook that baby up. It's go time. It's I love my passion. I feel like I'm back to where I was 35 years ago when I was a cyclist. So and also close second is like Shawn said, getting out of my neighborhood, pushing or just pushing, or going to the beach and pushing. Where and I I'm I don't find this at fault of anything, but as long as it's nice and flat where I can keep going at a good pace, and I love it. I mean, there's some few little uphill here or there, but there's no reason why I need to challenge myself at this age and how many years of pushing my own chair. So flat the better. And once I can get into a nice rhythm, it is so enjoyable. It's like nothing else.
Okay, so I know your guys' favorites.
so what
What's
about
mine?
you, Tom?
I don't know. You tell
Yeah,
me.
we need to hear yours.
I'd say if I had to pick one, probably sex. Is my favorite exercise, adaptive recreational activity.
That's a
Um,
solid answer.
um, like not joking, more seriously. Um, I've had a few that I really enjoyed. Tennis was one of my favorites that I've got to do at the sports fest and stuff, and certain other times. I really enjoyed tennis. It's kind of like feel like I got a little agility, a little dexterity, as well as like feeling the physical activity of like moving my arms and swinging. Like it's very satisfying to like whack a ball with a racket, especially if you can like get it going back and forth between somebody. It just feels kind of cool. That's been one that's kind of stood out to me. I do enjoy hand cycling too. I've always had trouble finding a bike that fits me right. I feel like it's super paramount to like the success of hand cycling is being in a bike you feel really comfortable in, and you feel solid in doing. So there have been a couple times when I've been in like I felt like a good bike, like a good fit at like some cycling events and stuff, and really thoroughly enjoyed that. Um, anything kind of
Until you get to
changed?
the and I'll just stop you real quick. But once
Yeah.
you get in the right hand cycle, and get into now with e-bikes, if we can find you a good chair, hook up that e-bike, you would love it. So it makes it a lot easier with technology because I'm right with you, Tom. It's not enjoyable when you can't do it.
So that's what
Yeah.
I want to try, the like more upright hand cycle like you're using from your chair, Bobby, where you're comfortable and cruising, because that's what, like Tom, like I've same thing. I've done some hand cycling at a couple of the Triumph events, um, and it's cool. Like the ones that were at the beach, which were like completely flat and minimal curves, I did great at, and they were fun. It's a little bit
Yeah.
uncomfortable on the bike, but it is hard for me to really like control and move it around well. Like those low sitting hand cycles, I mean, like where you're like kind of on your back and way low to the ground.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy it as much because it's hard.
Sometimes I feel like I can't breathe in those chairs, dude.
It's
I'm like,
it's weird,
what?
right? It's hard.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's I feel you with that because it's like if I was comfortable with that thing, I would love it. Like, and so that's why I do think if I can try to maybe get more of an attachment one for the chair, I think that would probably be more comfortable and easier for me. And I would probably enjoy that a lot. I think I would because I like just that feeling of moving, like the air in my face. Like I like to cruise. So
yeah. And just to shout out the Sports Fest one more time while we're at the end here, I just love trying new things. I love playing and participating with other people. I honestly don't really care what it is. Like if I can be laughing and having some fun with some other people who are doing the same activity together, then I'm here for anything. Whether it's archery, whether it's baseball, bocce ball, or any rugby, anything in between. Rugby is up there on the list too. Some of my favorite memories and favorite times I've hung out with Shawn and hung out with the homies is like on the rugby court, banging into each other, like my quad ass, heavy breathing, hunched over, pushing up and down the court, feeling like I'm trailing behind all these other people. But it's just been
I
so fun to
I
be a
actually
part of the team.
shout out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to find it, but I know I recorded you at the Lamb Meet C playing rugby and scoring a goal. Like I was like, I know I got Tom scoring a goal on a video.
You gotta find that footage for me, dude.
I do.
I gotta see
I
it.
know I do have you on video.
Being able to scuba dive, I was able to participating in the scuba dive that they do at the sports festival. This was years ago, but still, is like a core memory, being able to be underwater, kind of fully submersed, but buoyant enough to kind of move and manipulate my hips and my legs in a very unique way. Like, kind of feel the freedom of moving my body again and stuff, and like such a buoyant, cool, unique environment. It's made me. I haven't done it yet, but it's made me want to pursue trying to go scuba and like the ocean somewhere, or like some tropical place, go swim with some turtles maybe. Um, so I like just pushing myself to try new things. I like to push myself to try new types of recreation that I haven't tried before and see what sticks. My latest thing that I really want to push myself to try to get into and get involved with, because my sister's a little bit of one, is yoga. She's like a yoga person, and I think it's kind of just what Bobby was talking about earlier, very peaceful, meditative way to also like exercise and just reflect and think and process, and also physically work yourself out a little bit. So I'm a little all over the place when it comes to what I enjoy, but I'd say my thing I most enjoy is trying new things. And my last little note on that is I really encourage and push anybody who hasn't been involved in much adaptive recreation to try to get involved, whether it's on your own because that's your environment, what you're in. I Some activities and sports, especially things like tennis, are way more feasible and possible than you might realize if you look into it a little bit. Find some YouTube videos or something, but also do some Googling too. Google adaptive recreation in your specific area and see what pops up. Even if you got to travel a couple hours to, more, metropolitan area where they host regular things like that, really, really encourage you and push you to go. Give it a try once. Give it a try once. If it's not your thing, that's totally fine. But you never know until you give it a go. And it can feel a little intimidating until you do it for the first time. But I promise you, once you do it for that first time, that feeling all melts away. And you're going to be asking yourself, like, dang, why the heck didn't I do this stuff sooner? I promise you that.
No, I 100% agree with that, dude. Yeah, because like it is sometimes a little bit scary, nerve wracking to try something new, to put yourself out there, maybe to drive to an event you don't know a lot about. But I think that it will be worth it for most people. Like it is, it's so beneficial to get out and get some activity, get some exercise, and then it's stuff like that, like the sports festival or other little events like that. You also have the community aspect, so you'll have people to talk to, people that you might be able to connect with and build future friendships with and stuff. So like, it's just it's just really cool. So yeah, if you are in Southern California, this weekend, come out to Santa Clarita Triumph Foundation Sports Festival. Try some sports, try some stuff. There's all kinds of fun stuff. And if you can't make it this weekend, but you are somewhat local or you're going to be in the area, look up the Triumph Foundation website. There's literally hand cycling like on a lot of weekends. There's like bocce ball and tennis. Like there's a lot of different activities that are regularly happening on weekends, that you can just find the information right there on the website.
Yeah,
Go to for free. So
right on the main page, if you just put your email in where it says sign up for our newsletter, and you put your email in, you'll get an email when the events are occurring. So you'll get a little reminder a week ahead of time, or for our larger events, even months ahead of time to, let you all know like what's going on and plan and figure out how you can get out to it or the events that might work for you. And really encourage you to do that because the newsletter just is a good reminder. You might not be feeling like going to an event right now, but in a few months from now, you very well may be. and that can be the reminder that can help give you the push to go for it and give it a try. Do we want to run through the shows and the sponsors real quick, Sean?
Yeah, we
We're
will.
You
about
know
Yeah,
what I was
real
gonna
quick. What's up? Go ahead,
real
Bobby.
quick, real quick. I'm gonna just say this. I think it was Donald. We're not sure when the summer barbecue is happening. More update for the future on that. Shawn, awesome. We need to meet up in the Santa Ana Riverbed. That's where I ride. So let me know when we can meet up. I'd love to hang out with you. Um, and something I wanted to say about what Shawn said. One more. I got my APT bike trying to do something positive and wore a hole in my butt. So some of these athletic things or these things that you're trying, you got to be really careful about your skin and what you're doing and making sure that you're protecting your body and not that you're going to cause a pressure sore or a skin breakdown. So that was a good point, Shawn. Yep, they got hot dogs, Paul. That was funny. Um,
And
and yeah, I'm in Orange
just,
County. Let's go, Shawn.
just to say to Sean, love you, man. Sending you lots of love for that butt wound to be healing up quick. There's nothing worse feeling than trying to do something positive and ending up hurt yourself and put yourself in a bad space. The only other thing I can say on that is for anybody else who hearing this too, just operate cautiously. Maybe like also very incrementally step into some of these things. Maybe just do 45 minutes in the bike before you do like 2 hours, and then if you
Yeah,
do that successfully, then maybe do a little bit more, or just find your healthy, level. And again, just also don't let it discourage you too. If you end up hurting yourself or failing, like we fail and we learn and then we try again, because there's no other alternative.
And
yeah,
Shawn, tell me when you're going to Stretch Lab. I've been dying to go. And I don't know where any therapy for Orange County pools are because that's also if you can find a therapy pool. Always great to give them water for therapy. So, um, if a lot of people can find them in your local YMCA and find one with a lift, that always helps out. The problem is just if you need somebody to help you out, not all the time that somebody's available at these places. So check your local pools and uh, therapy uh, therapy places. There's a therapy place by my house, but they won't take anyone with a spinal cord. It's more for sports injury.
and yeah, actually, that's just a good mention too. Water therapy, pool stuff, swimming. Summer's coming up. Even just getting in the pool, floating around, swimming a little bit, great activity. So, um, all right, so yeah, let's get to shouting out our sponsors here. All
If you want to hit me with the banners, I'll run through it real quick.
right, cool. We'll
Uh,
do sponsors first here.
Mobility pros and urology professionals. Mobility professionals can help you out with all of your durable medical equipment needs. If you're local to the Southern California area, that means wheelchairs, standing frames, shower chairs, and the like. They are an awesome company that's very supportive of the community and really works hard to try to give you the best experience of getting your equipment, the right equipment the first time, in a timely manner, and working with your insurance to help you figure it all out. And their sister company, Urology Professionals, similarly with urological supplies, they can help you with your catheters, any related catheters, supplies, and they are national. So if you are not local to Southern California, if you live anywhere in the U.S., you can give them a call, go check out their website, and see if they can help you out. They can almost guarantee that they can if you got the right insurance, and you won't regret signing up to get your supplies through them. I promise you.
Yeah, they're great people, and they will be at the sports festival this weekend. So if you're local and you want to talk to them, they usually mobility professionals sets up and does free wheelchair repair for people there too. So they do chair maintenance and repairs there as well. So yeah, just shout them out. Thank you to our sponsors, and thank you everybody in the chat that watches and comes back and contributes. We do appreciate you guys and coming every week. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we had a lot of our regulars today. It was great to see. Great to see a lot of regulars back this week.
Yeah.
Every Monday, we got
And
gaming.
one thing, Tom, I was
Say what? Say what, Bobby?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say we got gaming with Hell
Go ahead,
Wheels
and then
every.
I'm going to ask you a quick question after.
So yeah,
You want to be interested in gaming? Tech Mondays
check.
with Hell Wheels. Come and game. Talk about some tech. Um, we
We're back every
also
Tuesday.
every Tuesday, baby. Um, it all started right here on Tuesday, and man, we'll never miss a Tuesday if we
We're
can.
going strong, yeah. So
Wednesday, we got
man,
some more games.
T
We're all about
Fizzle.
gaming on the roll, but it's gaming with T Fizzle. We got a really cool community that we play with, stay in touch with throughout the week in between the shows. We do gaming. We also talk about real life stuff. We talk about TV shows. We talk about things we're doing in our lives and good stuff, bad stuff, everything in between. If you're interested in joining the Discord or getting more involved in that, doesn't just have to be for gaming. You can come and join us for one of the shows, and we can get you in the Discord, the community. You can reach out to Shawn or any of us, and we'll work on that as well.
Yeah,
And
was
then,
because that is a great interactive community. If you guys want more chat involvement, more talking to people, about things you might be dealing with, or just gaming and movies and fun stuff.
and it's everybody from all over. We got everybody from all over the U.S. and not just the U.S., the world. In that Discord chat, there's some cool peeps from all over. So I really love it. It's one of my favorite things that I get to do and hang out with every week. So I really encourage you to come and stop by. It's not just for gaming, I promise. We do a lot of gaming, which I think can be a lot of fun. But there's also a lot more to it if you want to come and join. And then
Well,
on Thursday this week, oh, go ahead,
oh,
Shawn.
I
Sorry.
was gonna say, and you can hop on the gaming, and you don't have to talk gaming. Like you can just talk to the
Yeah,
chat. It's very engaging. So talk
yeah,
to
no,
John, talk
and
to the
that's the
chat.
thing. If y'all just want to hang and talk about whatever topics, it's a little bit more free form during those shows. Meaning we don't generally have a set topic. I'm just sitting there hanging out, gaming with some cool homies, and there's usually some other really cool peers that also deal with this disability stuff regularly. And it's an opportunity to talk with some other people that's outside of like the normal shows too. So it can be a great space, I think, to come and talk about topics we don't always get to cover or whatever might be on your mind that particular day. Um, and yeah, Bobby, what's the topic this week? Rolling over the hill.
Uh, we got we got Ray Pizarro, our buddy from here in Southern California. He does Push Rim, a nonprofit foundation, helping out others with support and also with wheelchairs, and find out what else he's doing with his Push Rim. Back in the day, he was doing what we're doing right now. Wasn't live, but they had their podcast show. I
Podcast.
was
Yeah.
on it a couple times. Yeah, lots of different guests, so you can check out their old content. And they started a social media. So we're going to find out what Ray Pizarro's up to. And still, he's when we're talking about that rolling over the hill, he's had some issues along the way, and we're going to talk about that as well with Ray Pizarro,
And Ray
good
is a
friend of
really
mine.
nice guy. So yeah, just he's a really nice guy. So yeah, check out the show. And then as far on other Thursdays, the following week we'll have Rolling with the Golden Oldies coming up first week of May. I
Can
think
you
they're
believe
actually
that?
talking
Yeah.
with Mother's Day in May. I believe they're talking about motherhood and what that was their journeys were like, raising
Oh,
kids and having kids after their injuries. So make sure to check that out. And then Brianna and the ladies will be back next month. They were on last week, so if you didn't see their show last week, they're talking about their religious journeys. And if you want to go back and check that out from last Thursday, go ahead and check that out. And then we'll be back again third Thursday of May as well. So make sure tune in, check out all the shows, all the great content we have on here. Whatever you're
And
looking for.
it's my goal in the next week or two to try to round out and do. We'll like have our fifth and final show for the week. Be hitting you Monday through Friday. We're gonna be trying to do I'm gonna be trying to do a cooking show on Friday, starting at least semi regularly. Not quite sure the frequency or what the dealio is, but I got some plans for that content. Me and Shawn and the Lip Troll crew have been trying to work on that behind the scenes. So get excited and keep an eye out for that. We'll be coming at you Monday through Friday, at least for some weeks, and I think that'll be really cool for the channel, and we'll be covering a lot of cool stuff. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
no, awesome.
just want to say, Donald, I can't wait for that Louisiana goodie bag. Thank you so much. Can't wait till it gets here, and we'll have to use it for that barbecue. You'll have to come out and show us some special of your skills. Tom, just real quick, you have a awesome therapy gym college next door across the street. Did you ever take advantage of that pool? That
Um,
I've seen it. I've never been in it, but did you ever get to take advantage of that
I
therapy pool?
I took major advantage of the Center of Achievement, which is what Bobby's talking about. I was very fortunate to attend a university where they train future PT students, and they have an adaptive gym. And part of their teaching program is they, um, they have it open to the community, and they assign students to the clients to work with them, kind of get a feel for working with clients and gain some real life experience. It's a really, really cool program. I was a student, but also had an opportunity to take advantage of the gym as well and work with some students and get some help working out. I lived there for a couple of years when I was attending CSUN, and I never got a chance to go in the pool. I don't have help during the day.
Oh,
I did
bummer.
have help in the morning, um, getting wet and having to come
Yeah,
home in my wet clothes and change and stuff. It was always a little bit too much for me, and I never had the care during the day to be able to help me do that. In my adolescence, we had an aquatic center that was just about a mile away from the home I grew up in, and my family lived there for a number of years too. I love swimming, getting in the pool. I think it's one of the best feelings ever. One, it somehow like makes all your pain go away. It like melts it all away if you can like float in some water. But also, there's a unique feeling being buoyant and being able to move around and kind of use your upper body to twist your hips and move your legs and your lower body. It's one of my favorite feelings in the world, and I think a really great way to get physically active in a very low resistance environment if exercising and more rigorous exercise is kind of hard for you, especially. Nothing like some water therapy and some water exercise. So I didn't get a chance, Bobby, but I do love swimming and really encourage anybody that does have the opportunity to give that a go too,
but I
because it's awesome.
But I bring that up real quick in the sense that check with your local colleges in your neighborhood. They might have a kinesiology program, and they might want to have some guinea pigs where the kinesiology students get to work on you. So check it out. A lot of states have it. I've heard of many, many different colleges have this type of program. Just go over there and find the center, the kinesiology department, or even physical therapy department, and professors love guinea pigs. So check it out, and they might be able to work with you, like Tom and I. I got the same treatment back in the day, 35 years ago, when I first got hurt. I was going to the Browns, the Center of Achievement over at Cal State Northridge, where Tom was going, and spent 2 years of signing up and working out one on one with a kinesiologist, new student. So, and one now has his own place course core rehabilitation center.
Oh
So
wow, that's cool. You're
that's how far he goes back, Shawn
is that
and
Taylor? Yeah,
Tom.
that's crazy. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
that's how far he was a student when I was. I think my last time
nice.
semester I had over there.
That
And
is cool.
just if you can't find something local, just move to Northridge. I'm looking
There
for a
you
new
go.
room.
Yeah.
So like hit me up. Let's go, baby.
Oh yeah, you could really you really have the room for another roommate, huh?
Hey, it's a tight fit, but more the merrier.
Awesome, guys. Well, great show, you guys. Thanks, everybody that's been watching. Hope you guys were able to take something from it. And if you're watching after and you got something to leave in the comments, please leave us a comment. Make sure to like the video. Make sure that if you are subscribed, click that bell, get the notifications. You heard Tom? Coming up, we're going to be having streaming Monday through Friday, hopefully. So at least maybe
Yes.
not every week, but hey, we do have so much content. Just make sure come back, check us out, and
I don't know any other channel that does a like lift roll. We got more content to come to you guys. Then
that's
you don't even
right.
know what to do with. So please, if you feel so inclined, hit that notification bell. Get a little reminder when we're making this stuff, and maybe it'll be for you. Maybe you'll learn something. Otherwise, just
And
come hang out with us.
I want to shout out another show, a good friends of ours, uh, Walk and Roll. You can
Yeah,
find that on
Doug.
any of your podcasts. I just happened to be a guest host. He called me, emailed me, and said, "Hey, I need a guest host." His guest host hasn't been showing up, so we got to do talk about traveling. So find that on your podcast. That was a couple weeks ago, and our good buddy Andrew Skinner was on last week on the show. So talking about the sports festival. So check that out. Some good listens, as well as first check out all our shows here this next
Yeah.
coming month and every day, Monday through Friday.
But yeah, we're all supportive of each other. It's all about the community here and building each other up. So yeah, shout out to all the other disability podcasts and stuff. There's no bias. We love everything. We love y'all. So thank you guys for everything, watching. Bobby, Tom, you guys are awesome. Great
You too,
You're
quadcasting.
Shawn.
awesome.
All right,
Thanks,
you
man.
guys live to roll, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you
Live to
tomorrow.
roll.
Wrestle
Tomorrow.
Kingdom.